Hey Reddit. I just ruined my sister's wedding. Like full on, walked in looking flawless, dropped the mic, exposed a whole relationship scandal, and walked out before the cake even hit the table. And honestly, no regrets. Because the truth, she deserved it. Every last piece. Okay, wait, rewind. Because I'm getting ahead of myself and I need y'all to understand how deep this betrayal actually goes. This isn't just some oops mix up or haha family drama. This is strategic sabotage from somebody who shares my DNA. So grab your iced coffee or your wine because this one, it's a saga. My name's Tessa. I'm 25, freshly single, slightly traumatized, but mostly thriving. And my sister, let's call her Rachel because that's her real name and I'm done protecting clowns, is 27. She's always been the pretty one, the golden child. You know the type. Homecoming queen, head cheerleader, everyone's best friend, but secretly the most manipulative person you'll ever meet. Growing up, Rachel had this thing where everything I had, she wanted. My clothes, she'd steal them. My friends, she'd flirt with them. My birthday party theme, stolen, the week before mine. And I swear it became her life's mission to one-up me. But I never thought she'd go this far. Okay, so little backstory here. I was in a relationship with this guy, Matt. We've been dating for about a year and a half. He wasn't perfect, but he was funny, charming, and I thought he genuinely loved me. Rachel, she was always weird around him, like too nice, touchy even, giggly in that I'm just your little sister's hot friend kind of way. I told myself I was paranoid, but now, looking back, oh, I knew. There was this one night. We're all at this family barbecue, right? Everyone's vibing. Rachel shows up in this skin-tight dress, heels, full glam, for a barbecue. Girl, be for real. Matt couldn't stop looking at her. I caught him staring more than once, and every time I call him out, he'd say, "You're just insecure." Spoiler alert, I was right. I just didn't have the proof. Yet. So months go by. Rachel gets engaged to her longtime boyfriend, James. He's irrelevant. You'll find that why later, I'm sure. Anyway, she starts planning this over-the-top Pinterest board wedding event that makes you want to vomit, and of course, I'm expected to be the maid of honor. Y'all, I didn't even want to go, but family guilt, it's powerful. So I agree. I show up, I support, I smile through gritted teeth. Meanwhile, Matt starts acting weird, like phone always on silent, gets annoyed when I ask basic questions, and suddenly he can't come to wedding-related events, even though he's always been super close to my family. And then one day, I open Instagram, and guess who accidentally posted a story from a private account? Rachel. But she didn't know she was still connected to the old Finsta we made in high school. Rookie move. It's a boomerang. Cute little cheers moments, champagne glasses clink, and whose hand is that across from hers? Matt's. His stupid, crooked little thumb I would recognize anywhere. I rewatch it 10 times, 100 times. Pause, zoom, screenshot. My stomach? Gone. I DM her like, "Who are you with?" She unsends the post instantly, then texts me like, "Oops, that wasn't meant to post, just a throwback from a friend's engagement shoot." Girl, be serious. At this point, I know something's up, so I go full FBI. And what did I find? Is a year's worth of fake friend vibes, side eyes, and sketchy coincidences that now make perfect sense. Venmo transactions, blurry tagged photos, and a fake contact saved as car mechanic. Like, who texts their mechanic at 1 a.m.? I confront Matt. He denies everything, gaslights the hell out of me. You're being paranoid. Rachel's like a sister to me. You're ruining this with your jealousy. Oh, okay. Bet. So I ghost him, fully. No dramatic goodbye, no fight, just blocked, deleted, removed like a limited time offer. And next, high plot. Okay, so clearly y'all had thoughts. The comments on my last post, iconic. First of all, thank you. Deadass. I wasn't expecting that much support, and reading through all of your girl WTF comments literally helped me process the whole situation. Some of y'all were like, just go no contact. Others were like, burn it down and post the ashes. So I picked a middle ground. Classy chaos. And yes, it went down at the wedding. So here's the update since that whole "my sister was hooking up with my boyfriend" revelation. I ghosted both of them, didn't say a word, and I accepted the invitation to Rachel's wedding. Like the calm, emotionally stable Scorpio that I am, the plan was simple: let the truth out with a side of red lipstick and receipts. No screaming, no fighting, just surgical level precision pettiness. So the wedding was in this pretentious vineyard, an hour outside the city. You know the kind. Flower crowns, linen napkins folded into swans, and a $12,000 floral arc that looked like a Whole Foods exploded. I showed up in a white satin slip dress that Rachel once said made me look too edgy for family events. I bet it was too edgy to wear to a wedding. Oh well. When I got there, people were fake smiling, pretending this wasn't the most awkward situation in the universe. I kept my cool. I hugged my mom, kissed my grandma, and when I saw Rachel, she froze. And I smiled. She was in full bridezilla mode, surrounded by bridesmaids and a planner who looked like she hadn't slept since January. She hugged me like she wasn't sleeping with my ex. "So glad you can make it," she said, voice all high-pitched. I smiled and said, "Wouldn't miss it for the world." She blinked. Hard. Fast forward to the reception. Now, I timed everything. I wasn't going to pull a stunt during the vows. That would have been tacky. No. I waited for the toast. Rachel's best friend gave a sweet little speech about love and loyalty. Ironic. James' cousin went next. It was giving meh. Then Rachel grabs the mic, all smiles, like she's about to thank everyone for coming. But baby, not on my watch. I walked up mid-sentence, snatched the mic like Kanye did the Grammys, and let the silence slap. I tapped the mic, smiled, looked directly at Rachel. "Hi everyone, I'm Tessa, maid of honor. Rachel's younger sister, favorite victim, occasional therapist, and apparently part-time relationship decoy." A few polite laughs. Rachel stiffened. I went on. "Now, weddings are a celebration of love, right? So I thought I'd take a moment to celebrate something truly special. Closure." You could feel the temperature drop. I looked at Rachel again, then at James. "Because closure," I said, "is what you get when you realize that the person you loved was being passed around like champagne at a bridal shower." People gasp. Rachel goes, "Tessa, stop." I pulled a small envelope from my clutch. This is Mac's hotel receipt from your bachelorette weekend." I turned to James. "Check the date. You were out of town. I was at home crying over Netflix. And Rachel? She was sleeping with my boyfriend." Mic drop. Metaphorically, I wasn't going to break the mic. Those things are expensive. Chaos. Rachel lunged, James backed away. The DJ literally turned off the music, and I walked off that stage like Beyonce exiting Coachella. A few guests clapped. Not even kidding, my aunt whispered "finally" under her breath. Rachel's mother-in-law looked like she just watched the season finale of Scandal. I didn't stay long after that, obviously. I waved to my grandma, kissed my mom on the cheek, and left the reception before the cake was even cut. In the car, I blasted "Thank you, next," and screamed every lyric like it was a spell, and I swear to God, it felt like my spine grew an extra inch. No guilt, no tears, just peace. So yeah, that was the wedding. So I'm back. Let's talk about Matt, my ex-boyfriend, my gaslighter in chief, the man who convinced me for 3 years that I was too sensitive, while he was out here hosting a community cheat-a-thon behind my back. After I exposed Rachel at the wedding, I knew I had to deal with him next. One snake down, one to go. So, at first I had ghosted him. No text, no calls, let him stew in silence. And while he was pacing the floor wondering when I'd come crawling back, I was building a little digital dossier. More receipts, y'all. Screenshots, hotel bookings, bank statements, even selfies of him with other girls. Yes, girls. Come to find out, it wasn't just my sister. I even found risque videos saved that he forgot I had access to. Because yes, he used my iPad once and forgot to log out. Let's just say, I had enough to make a Netflix docuseries. So I did what any emotionally stable woman with a creative side and a ruined heart would do. I mailed everything. Yes, everything. To his boss. With a little note that said, "Thought you should know what your brand ambassador's been up to." Turns out, Matt had been using the company credit card to fund some of his late-night business meetings, which were not business, not meetings, and definitely not company approved. 3 days later, fired. His look on FaceTime when he called me right after it happened, crying, chef's kiss. But I wasn't done. I created a burner Instagram and DM'd all 3 girls I caught him texting over the years. Turns out, 2 of them had also thought they were his girlfriend. We made a group chat. It was called Matt Ain't Redacted. We shared stories, pieced timelines together, compared screenshots. One of them had access to his cloud and dropped everything in a Google Drive. The final nail? I submitted his resume to a few job sites with some creative edits. Let's just say Mac's next few interviews were very, very awkward. I didn't even have to do much after that. The damage unraveled itself. But revenge isn't about getting even. It's about reminding them who they played with. He tried texting, calling, voicemails full of fake apologies. I made a mistake. It didn't mean anything. You were the one person who really knew me. Exactly. And that's why I had to destroy you. Okay, so y'all remember the wedding, right? Yeah, I'm still recovering from the emotional cardio I got that day. But apparently, Rachel and James, they've been recovering from something else entirely, like public humiliation. Because that little mic drop, oh honey, it detonated a bomb. Let me walk you through the fallout because it's juicy. So Rachel's wedding photos never made it to Instagram. She went full ghost mode, deleted her accounts, unfollowed her own husband. I mean, if that doesn't scream damage control, I don't know what does. Meanwhile, James, he's walking around like a kicked puppy because I may or may not have found out what went down in the car ride home from the reception. So apparently, James asked Rachel if what I said was true, and she just sat there, silent, didn't even deny it, didn't say a word, just looked out the window like she was the main character in a breakup montage. They didn't even make it to the honeymoon. Y'all, James moved out within a week. Rachel tried to spin it like he wasn't mature enough for marriage. Meanwhile, she was the one sleeping with her sister's boyfriend. But sure, James. Let's talk about why I called him irrelevant in the first place. So James was Rachel's safe choice. Stable, predictable, the human equivalent of an oatmeal raisin cookie. He always played second fiddle to her chaotic energy, and deep down, he knew it. Rachel only married James because she thought he'd worship her forever. But when the truth came out that she was cheating with my ex, even he had a line. So he left. And now, James is thriving. I know. Shocking. He joined some hot yoga cult. Okay, it's a fitness retreat center, but still. And according to my aunt, he's lost 20 pounds and grown a beard. Growth era? You love that for him. Now, let's talk about my growth era. Because I wasn't done after the wedding. Oh no, I was just getting started. I knew Rachel would try to reach out. And like clockwork, she did. Her text came in less than 24 hours later. Can we talk? Girl, talk to who? God? Because it's above me now. But I agreed. Not because I wanted to reconcile, because I wanted the final word. We met at this little coffee shop where we used to go as kids. Nostalgic, right? She showed up looking like she hadn't slept in weeks. I was radiant, obviously. She started in with tears. How she was confused. How it just happened. How Matt was a mistake. Girl, you don't just accidentally fall onto my boyfriend. That's not how gravity works. I let her talk. Then I slid a manila envelope across the table. Inside, a printed timeline, screenshots, photos, receipts, all the proof I collected over the last few months. She flipped through it with trembling hands like it was a court summons. Then I stood up, dropped the $5 bill on the table, and said, I came here to return what you left behind. She looked up, confused, and I said, your dignity. And just like that, I walked out. That's pretty much where everything left off. I walked out of that coffee shop, and honestly, I haven't looked back since. I'm healing, one day at a time. Not sure if I'll ever have a sister again, but TBH, I never really liked her anyway, LOL. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, wait, that's all she got? Girl, WID. She deserves so much more. And she did, indeed. But I realized carrying the resentment would only weigh me down, so I let it go. OMG, y'all, I'm back, and you won't believe what just happened. So apparently, Rachel's been real quiet since the wedding, like Ghost of Christmas Past quiet, which was fine until Aunt Denise came to town. Now, let me paint the picture. Family barbecue number 2, new month, same backyard. I show up in peace, hot dog in one hand, Diet Coke in the other, chillin', and then I see her, Rachel, looking like she stepped out of an Instagram ad for fake remorse. She's got on another tiny dress, heels in the brass, and sunglasses on like she's in mourning for her dignity. I wasn't gonna say anything. I truly wasn't. But then Aunt Denise hit me with the ultimate cousin slap of a whisper. You know she's pregnant, right? I stopped chewing. I blinked. I'm sorry. She's what? Apparently, Rachel's pregnant. Yes, this Rachel. This universe. No alternate timeline. And guess who might be the father? James? Maybe. Matt? Possibly. A third mystery man who works at the hotel from the Bachelorette weekend? Highly likely. Girl, not the scandal, baby. James has been MIA since the wedding, completely vanished like he joined witness protection for broken grooms. So it ain't looking like he's excited about fatherhood. And Matt? Child. He can barely commit to paying for lunch. The idea of him holding a baby? Please. It's giving, you reap what you sleep with. Anyway, Rachel started crying at the barbecue, blamed me for ruining her life, said if I had just minded my business, none of this would have happened. I laughed out loud with the mouthful of potato salad. Because this is what happens when you steal your sister's boyfriend, lie about it, then get caught up at your own wedding. Anyway, that's the latest. Will Rachel keep the baby? Will James come back? Will Matt finally grow a spine? Stay tuned because this saga isn't over yet. It's been a while. Where did we leave off? All right, my sister faked a pregnancy and tried to play victim like she didn't blow up my life with a side of gaslighting. And James, back like a stray cat. Of course he came crawling back. Apparently, 2 weeks of single life had him rethinking his choices, and suddenly Rachel's betrayal was just a rough patch. Gag. Anyway, I've been healing, one day at a time, just drinking water and minding my business, when I get this random DM from one of our mutual friends. Let's call her Jade. She's like, girl, I'm not trying to stir the pot, but I saw Rachel and James together at brunch, holding hands, and she didn't look pregnant anymore. I blinked like 5 times. Not pregnant? As in, never was? You know what? Never mind. Because we don't judge over here, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And she was it. Jade kept going. Also, Matt, he's not okay. He's been posting cryptic IG stories like dark quotes with sparkles. And a weird TikTok trend about loyalty. Turns out Matt's been spiraling hard. Got fired from his job after someone anonymously emailed screenshots of him trash-talking clients and other stuff. Who would do such a thing? After that, things settled down for a bit. Until, that is, I like to call it Christmas chaos. Of course, my mom begged me to show up for Christmas dinner. She was like, Tessa, it's family, just be civil. Which is rich, coming from a woman who once threw a shoe at Uncle Rick for bringing up politics. So I went, dressed festive, kept it cute, brought wine. James was there. Rachel was there, together, smiling, like they weren't the walking embodiment of betrayal. Rachel hugged me, called me sis. I poured extra wine. Aunt Denise was already giving her the side eye. Grandma just said grace like nothing happened. We sat down, made it halfway through the mashed potatoes, and then the doorbell rings. Everyone freezes. My mom goes, who on earth? I knew. Instantly, I knew. It's Matt. Holding a gift bag, and it looked like he rehearsed a whole speech in the car. He walks in like he belongs, looks at me, hey Tess, can we talk? Before I can even blink, James stands up like he's the protective one now. No, man, you gotta go. Matt, you back with her? Okay. After everything? Rachel, don't start, Matt. Oh, I'm starting. Since we're all playing family, let's talk about how Rachel texted me last week. Gasps. Forks down. Aunt Denise whispered, Lord. James, you're lying. Matt, check her phone. Rachel, he's just trying to make me look bad. Me, you're doing that on your own, sis. Then Matt says it, loud, crystal clear. Ask her who the baby really belonged to. Screams. James lunges. Matt pushes back. Wine glasses crash. Grandma yells, not in front of the Lord's ham. I just sip my wine. Silent. Peaceful. Watching them all unravel like Christmas lights in the thunderstorm. So yeah, that's how Christmas went. Will I ever recover from the trauma of undercooked yams and overcooked drama? Unclear. But maybe I'll be posting an update. Who knows? It seems like this story keeps going on and on and on. Well, Reddit, here we are, 6 months later. And what a ride it's been. Let's start with James. After the chaos at Christmas, yeah, he disappeared again. Classic James. But this time, he didn't just disappear, he reappeared. Married. To a stripper. In Vegas. On Valentine's Day. You literally could not make this stuff up. I mean, who's writing his life? The CW? Now, Rachel? She's still bitter. Still overdressed for every occasion. Still alone. And last I heard, she's working on herself, which in Rachel language means posting sad girl thirst traps with Bible quotes in the captions. And Matt? Well, word on the street is Matt up and moved. Out of state. He wanted a fresh start and something about starting over in a place where nobody knows his name. Yeah, well played, Matt. Because me, I'm good. Better than good. I let go. I moved on. And I leveled up. Every single way. I have a new place, a new peace, and a new outlook on what I deserve. And no, I don't need a man to validate any of that. What I needed was the truth. What I gave myself was freedom. To everyone who followed this crazy story from the very beginning, thank you. Your comments, advice, unfiltered rage, it carried me. You gave me a whole community when I felt like I had none. So if this is my final update, let it be a reminder. You don't need closure. You don't need revenge. You need peace. And maybe a pina colada on the beach while your ex spirals. Because at the end of the day, the best revenge is thriving. Oh, and by the way, I'm Tessa, your host right here at MFC POV. Every single day at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm bringing you the wildest Reddit-style drama you've ever heard. Betrayal, revenge, secrets, lies, you name it. It's based on real events and told with the main character energy. So buckle up, because it only gets messier from here. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a beat.